welcome to Moonlight Madness. I'm doing my second read for the day. I've been away for a bit. I've been very unwell. However, I'm getting there. Yeah, I've had a bit of an issue with an allergic reaction to a COVID booster, and it was. I'm not going to say because this is big pharma company, it's pharmacare, right? I don't want to get in trouble with them, big drug companies, but I did have to tell the pharmacist that I majorly reacted to it, and I did not react this bad the last time I had this one because it's the safer one. It's not the Moderna, it's the Pfizer, right? The Pfizer was good last time. I was still sick, had a reaction as well, but this is worse. This was 10 times worse. So I've decided to no longer get COVID boosters or any type of flu vaccination ever again. Yeah, it was really bad. It was hallucinations 24/7, vertigo, hot and cold, sweats. What else? Oh, yeah, the worst part was the pain down the left side of my neck. I felt like I was having a stroke or some type of heart condition, like palpitations. It went down my left arm, went up over my head to my right arm, and down both my left and my right legs. It was really bad. My mum had similar type of symptoms, but she hasn't had a COVID injection. This was because she had gone to visit someone in a hospital, in a nursing home, and brought it home. I've somehow contracted it. My kids contracted it. Not as bad as me, but my mum and I both were very sick. We both have heart issues anyway, so we've got hypertension. So word to the wise: be very careful before you go and get a booster, because when you leave there, I was fine. It was on the 5th of June, but then it took 2 weeks for it to develop, and then all these symptoms happened after the fact. So I'm still hallucinating. The auditory's gone, but the visuals are still happening. Not as bad. Yesterday was the first day that was not as bad, but subsequently it's now 24/7. Weird dreams, you name it. We've just come out of a full moon. I'm going to say Pisces. I think it was Pisces. I don't know. I don't really follow the charts, but we came out of a full moon. So what cards I've pulled today for Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine is the deck that I'm using. Is a lot of cards that represent the waning moon, which is cups. So when you got cups, it's the waning moon. We've got here, the last read I did had, I think it was 8 of cups. We've got here, the first card I've pulled is the 7 of autumn. To me, this is planting the seeds. You're planting the seeds and investing your time or your money in your next step. So this could be, you want to put down roots, you want to buy a property, or you're trying to save money for a property, or you're trying to invest in yourself, in your health. But you can't sit there and wait for the pumpkins to grow off the vine, is the old saying. They grow slowly every day without you even realizing it. I'll give you a little visual. I had some tomatoes that I was trying to grow when I was sick back in 2016. A tomato vine and place to grow them. I had to try and grow them from in the winter time, and it took, I think, 7 months. And every day I thought, well, they're not growing. Finally, we get this one tomato. It took 7 months to grow, but I found out the reason why it didn't grow is the soil was bad. Mayfield area is known for lots of mining area and lots of pollution from the industrial highway, and I think that's why it took so long for those tomatoes to grow. But every day I go out and check them. I think I got three small tomatoes off that entire plant. So if the soil's not prepared, then how are you meant to grow anything? So what you need to do is invest in your health in order for you to grow that health. The health has to grow slowly but surely by investing time and energy into your health. I thought I was doing the right thing by getting a flu shot and then a COVID shot because I was doing a makeup certificate 3 all over again. I was redoing it, and I thought we're going to do manicures and pedicures was the next topic. So I was told and heavily advised to get a shot because bloodborne disease. So I did that based on that reason, not thinking I would get that sick. I had to withdraw from the course. I was disappointed, to say the least. There was a lot of things going on at that time, and we had a couple of deaths in the family. I lost my favourite doctor that I've known since I was 2, and it really upset me. And then we got news of my step-grandmother who passed away recently as well. So there was a lot of death and grief and a house inspection, lots of stuff going on. And then I had to do this major component, a PowerPoint that I was scared of failing, but I was scared of losing my home more than failing the course. It was first port of call is to have a roof over your head. Long story short, I'm here and I'm trying to get well. I can't work, I can't volunteer like I like to volunteer at Lifeline because I believe in what they do because of the hallucinations, and I'm a risk. So I have to stay home, not go too far. I've gotten to know shops around here, which I normally go to walk down to Woolworths or Coles, but it's like a 8k walk one way, 8k walk back here. So because of the hallucinations, I've decided to keep it close to home and just get what I need that's local. Nice butcher shop down the road. I've just bought some sausages from him. Oz Meats in Newcastle. I've got crystals that I use all the time, and I've bought them from Rainbow Runner. They're closing their doors, I'm very sad to say. But I'm hoping, I think they're going online, so you can still get your crystals and your spiritual books and your decks of cards, where I've got this deck from back in 2015. Adrian's still selling them online, so at least I can still access them. I just can't touch or smell or feel, or you know what I mean, which is how I work. I pick out my crystals based on what I feel, what I sense. So the card that's crossing you is that the High Priestess. There's someone around you who's also psychic like you, that's looking into you. They may be a fire sign. I've got the Sun, or you may have a son in the future with some new person that's coming into your life that could be a fire sign. We've also got the High Priestess being the Hierophant. It's the counterpart. The High Priestess is the very highest person you can be as far as a psychic medium. She's got the Torah opened. That's the book. That's a Jewish book. Careful reflection. You need to meditate. It says you need to go for long walks when you're well, and sort of get impressions when you're walking. You'll get signs sent to you through synchronicities or imagery, or you'll see something. Like yesterday I went to see my mum, didn't tell her I was coming, I just turned up, and I had a mauve top on, and she had the same mauve coloured jumper on as me. It's like we read each other's minds, we're quite in tune with each other. And the High Priestess is also representative of a Taurus. If you've got Taurus in your chart, your High Priestess could be your parent that's intuitive like you, or an empath like you, or you could have two parents that are very empathic. I know my grandmother was very empathic on my father's side as well as on my mum's side, so I've got there's a history of psychic mediums in our family. Mine didn't come about till I hit my late 20s, when I had my second son, who was this surprise baby that popped up. Didn't know he was there for 4 months. I've got a strange cycle. And he came through on the tower when we had the Twin Towers. I was up visiting my mum. I was 8 months pregnant, and I had a vision of my Uncle Robert coming through going, "Where's your mum?" I said, "She's in the other room." I was sleeping on a futon with the boy's dad at the time, and I had the urge to go and turn the television on. I was like, turn the television on, something's going on, something's really bad. I had a vision in my sleep of my son, 2-year-old, he's not even born yet, on the top of this beautiful big tower with rubble all around him, and under this massive angel's wing was my son, Christopher, with all these curls. I believe he's one of the fallen ones from the Twin Towers, and I believe he was an African American, because I got a visual of him as an African American before I had that dream about my son. He's come straight through. I think there was a trade centre, and there was I think there was a lot of health workers in there the day that the accident happened. So that's what I get with that. That's a very highly intuitive person around you. That's equal, if not matching, your energy. And you need to do more relaxation, meditative techniques like shuffling cards, like reading a book, journaling. I find journaling helps me to express what I'm seeing and then watch as it comes true. Usually I'm about 2 months out to about 20 years out. I saw Matthew Perry, which I've got a book that's holding up this iPad at the moment so I can film. And I had a vision about him before he died. It was 3 hours before he died, before they announced it on the news. He was in a dream of mine 3 nights before that, in a pool, and I could see him going, "Oh, look at the water, it's all swirls." And I'm like, "What's that about?" In the book that my son bought me for Christmas, he actually talked about his last moments were of taking pictures of him swirling in his own sauna before he died. It was really sad. But I got a visual of him when I was working. I was hallucinating back then as well. I don't know why. People that smoke pot around me makes me hallucinate. So I'm guessing some of the girls at work were doing that. I don't know, but I was getting very strong visuals. So that's my story. Now, intuition is, lapis will enhance your intuition. Lapis lazuli, it's from Egypt. I have strong ties to Egypt. I've got past lives in Egypt. I've had many, many visions of being near the Black Sea, and I've had many, many visions of being a high priestess, walking into a room full of people in some type of temple, and I was in purple robes. So, yeah. Now, in the past, you've got a Prince of Cups. Now, Prince of Cups could represent a son or a parent. You might have a parent or a son that's a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. They are very dramatic, captivating, flirtatious. They can sweep you off your feet. They've got the gift of the gab. They're very romantic. They can look deep in your eyes and recite poetry. Then they might see someone else and do the same. They lose attention very quickly. Air signs, if you've got a water sign in your past that was like that, very flirtatious, you've got to be careful with them because he's got a heart made of glass. They're very emotional. They get easily hurt. So in your past, you may have had a partner or a father or a child that had the water, very strong water in their chart. They may have been water signs. They need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Now, you've got in the recent past a Prince of Pentacles. That can represent a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. Very grounding, very protective, but very slow moving. See how he's sitting on that leaf and it's just moving slowly. People underestimate them because they observe and they watch and they try to assess how you are. My mother was doing that yesterday to see how I was because she could tell that I'd been unwell, but you seem better today. I said, I feel better. She goes, that's good, you're getting stronger. Now, this staff here with the orb, that's his brain. It's very quick. It's very highly illuminated. And, yeah, what goes on inside that person's head would astound you. They're very, very bright. But they're not quick to trust. They're very cautious. And they pay attention to detail. And it's not what you say, it's how you express yourself. Your mannerisms, they might read body language. They may intuitively know or sense or feel because they've got the same intuitive gifts that you have. Now, for the Cancer in your past, they need to be grounded because they're so emotional. Their emotions overwhelm them. And what I was told to give for a water sign, and I've got 4 placements in water. I've got Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio in my chart, and a strong trine with Gemini and Aquarius, and I also have Sagittarius in my chart and Capricorn. I can be cold as ice, like the water is frozen. I can be like that with people. Once I freeze you out, it's going to take a lot of effort to let you back into my inner circle. Now we've got here the smoky quartz can represent a grounding experience. So it's a protective energy to protect the emotions that are very, very fluid, that are very emotional. You may stuff them down, but they'll come out, whether through an argument, through crying. It's just that you learn to stuff them down, and when they come out, they're huge emotions, big emotions, which a lot of kids that have special needs, ADHD kids, that's my kids, that's me, massive emotions. You've got to be working with emotions here. Now, they need to express themselves, whether it's through big art, drawing, journaling, singing, writing, painting, a form of expression. Oration, which I think is what they call this, where we're talking, is a form of expression and expressing how their emotions are. Now, the Ace of Spring is to do with someone around you who's very interested in you, sexually as well as physically. They find you sexually attractive, physically attractive, and they may want to get to know you. They could be a fire sign. They could be a fellow fire sign. So I pulled out the Carnelian, which activates sexuality. So if you've suppressed emotions, if you've been celibate for a long time, air signs, you're about to get an influx of people very interested in you. Lots of communication. So the butterflies that are flying around. That Ace of Wands can also represent a brand new job, a brand new start, a brand new relationship. All new things, all number 1 energy that you've got, which is the Ace of Spring. Creativity. All of those things are coming to you. Time to take action. Be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. A new job, a new career opportunity. In the future, you may have a son with somebody, or you could be someone's son. Or, being air sign, you could have your son come back and visit you, or see you, or reconnect with your son. It's also talking about Leo energy. So we're coming into Cancer season. We sit there till about the 23rd, I think it is, and then we're going into Leo season. So that's coming up in the future. So it's maybe telling a tale that maybe you find this new person by the end of July, early August, which is coming into spring. That's when you're going to meet this person, and they could be intellectually compatible with you because we've got the unicorn. And I always say that I'm a unicorn amongst the horses, right? I'm a bit different. I'm a different breed. But unicorns also represent knowledge. So you could heal with knowledge. With knowledge comes great power. With great power comes great responsibility. That's what Spider-Man's uncle said to him. It's very true. So you're responsible for leading people into the fray. And the sun is the happiest card in the deck to get. So plans that work out really well lead to rewards and commendations, gratitude for the blessings of life. So you may be happy, very, very happy come springtime. I've got Tiger's Eye, which is protection, and for me represents Leo. It's also good for intuition and protection, so we've got that. Then I've got Selenite, which helps to enhance whatever you're using a crystal with. I like Selenite. It's an amplifier. It's times 10 on what your crystal that you're trying to tune in with. I've got Bloodstone currently on my person, Bloodstone, and I have, which is for health, and I've got the pink Rose Quartz, which is for love. So self-love, love for self, drawing in love, and Bloodstone is healing energy, to heal yourself. They're called the blood of Christ. It's good. Some of the bloodstones have a little cross on them to say it's in the blood of Christ. You ask them to help you to get well. Now, communication is going to happen. You may have been suffering from burnout recently. It's a 10 of Wands. This is trying to carry everything on your back. So you need to ask for help from others. Sometimes you try to do everything alone because you're fiercely independent, but you're only one person. No man's an island. You need to ask for resources. You need to bring in the troops, is what it's saying. Yeah, you might be burnt out big time, so be careful. Also be careful of fire. I keep getting dreams of a fire starting in the kitchen. So if you're cooking, be very careful to watch the flame or move things away that could be flammable, like get fire energy. 8 of spring is air, is communication. We've got the communication, the wing. So if you find feathers, your angels are trying to communicate with you. It's telling you that you may have to go overseas to meet this person that's interested in you, that lives a long way away. 8 of Wands is travel by flight, by air flight. It says it's stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events, or sudden change. So you're trying to get your health in order, get your home in order, because you might be spring cleaning. You may be trying to get your fitness right, your mental health right. These are all wonderful things. You're decorating your home, but remember to also breathe and take some meditation or walks, like the High Priestess was recommending. You may be trying to get your own business off the ground. I used to watch a reader, which I've stopped recently watching, because he stopped posting. It was called Ocean Only, and he encouraged everyone to get online and be busy for an hour a day to promote their channel, to get a following. Because if you're not promoting yourself, then you're not putting yourself out there, then you're not practicing what you do as a side hustle, then you're not going to get noticed or liked or shared by the rest of the community. So it's saying that. So you may want to do this online presence, which you're trying to do. It's your little side hustle. And it says you may just be happy to stay at home and be self-employed. This is probably your goal, to be self-employed. The Hermit is Virgo energy. So you may have a Virgo heavily influenced in you or around you, or you may have recently conversed with a Virgo. Now, I don't know how Facebook works. I don't know. I'm not schooled on social media. I'm the last person that knows how to talk to people online when they try to message you through Messenger. But I know you have to add them in order to talk to them. But a lot of people's social media presence is handled by a handler, if that makes sense. So I thought I was talking to Prince Harry last night, but I realised it's spelled Harri, and it could have been anybody pretending that they're Harry. So I unfriended him because I was like, well, I don't even know who I'm talking to. You're kind of free-falling out there when you're speaking with someone online. You don't know if they can hack into your web page. Could be anybody pretending to be anyone. So I unfriended them because I just didn't trust it. My son said not to trust anyone that tries to message you and pretends to be a star or a famous person. So the Hermit is trying to muddle your way through. You may have Virgo placement in your chart as well. It says, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. You may need to go within because you've been burnt out, like I said in the Ten of Wands. You need to hide and meditate and just quiet walks in nature and try to get your health back online. You may be hermiting and finding that your own company is your best friend right now. Now she's carrying the Star of David in her hand. I've got the protection spell because I find the Hermit's very protective as well because it's earth. So I've got the Blade of Obsidian, which I love for protection. The Hermit is basically a sage, spiritual advisor, and she's holding the lantern with the little star in it, which is the Aquarian symbol of hope. So you could be someone's light in their darkness. If someone's recently lost a parent or a loved one, you could be that light that shines the light on them because they're so depressed or they're so sad, and that little bit of spark, a little bit of hope will light their way and cheer them up. And so the Star of David is faith in new tomorrows, and you know, when you lose someone, it takes a while to get over that person. It's like someone's light has left the earth. So be that light for someone. Shine that torch. Shine that light on your push bike, on your car, but illumination of what needs to be worked on or addressed, and be that light for that person who maybe can't find a way out of that absolute deep despair. People need people, and if you hermit too much, you become isolated and then you overthink things that aren't there. I found your mental health will suffer if you're not out there enough. It's good to hibernate for a little bit, and I know a lot of Scorpions go within. They like to shut off from the world. They like to be just alone with their thoughts. They grow in magnetism. Most Scorpions do when they've shut away. It's like hiding the light with a crystal. You hide it, then you put it into a bowl of salt when the moon is high, and you re-energize those crystals, because those crystals can get drained as well. So people can get drained. They're like batteries. We get drained of people's energy. Now I've got here my deck that I was given called Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. So this is for air signs. I'm going to shuffle. Oops, two fell out, but I'll throw them back in. Just to see what guidance I can give you as far as what career to do, or what you need to maybe action or activate, or what the inquiry is generally about, and who this person is that's interested in you. I'm going to cut it into two. Very happy to see that Catherine's on the mend. Very happy about that. And it's good to see that Harry's been supportive as well. If that was indeed Harry, I was congratulating him on his wife and him. I was really happy that he's married and he's happy. Now, I've got here the Awakening, Energetic Upgrades, a New Way of Being, Integration. That is an activation card. That is, active. So active card. Then we've got the Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the portal of your heart. So I can read this because they're new and I still don't know what they all mean. But awakening is like when you have a spiritual awakening. So maybe you air signs are going up a notch and getting new abilities that you didn't realise. Like auditory hallucinations normally don't happen to people people that are not in a psychosis. I've been reading and researching on books called Psychology Today. It's just a magazine I borrowed from the library called Psychology Today, and it talks about psychosis is a real thing. You can get yourself to into a psychosis, and it can be from depression. An awakening is, and I'm trying to figure out ways to stop all the daydreams. I call them daydreams because I've been doing them since I was possibly 5 at school. I'd just be staring out the window, seeing stuff. Couldn't express it or verbalise it because I just thought it was my imagination, but I was always in trouble for daydreaming. I call it daydreaming because I don't know how to switch mine off now. It's been 24/7 as of Christmas last year. Awakening is, I have to go to see someone that's got the same ability as me so I can figure a way how to calm it all down. 90. There's a spiritual church that does teachings on how to work with what you have. Energetic upgrades, new way of being, integration. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Some people complain of lower back pain. I don't believe that it's that. I believe it is not feeling supported in life. My son suffers with lower back pain, my eldest son, and I think it's lack of support, generally feeling it's an ache that comes from the base of the spine. So share your experiences with like-soul people while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering and your soul gifts are emerging. I've been writing down my dreams because I've had such vivid dreams lately. I dreamt I was naked up in some house and I have no idea where I was, trying to find a case of clothes to put on. And people were staring at me. That was a really strange dream. And then days ago I dreamt about all these dogs. My mum has lots of dogs that are buried up the backyard of her house. And all I could see was all these different breeds of dogs. And so I knew that Lily, that's my mum's dog, who's a scorpion, was wanting me to come visit my mum because she's really sad. She's still grieving. So I went over there and Lily was so excited to see me. She chased the tail around and almost peed on the ground. She's a beautiful dog. So she needed that support because she's the one that my mum pats and gets relief, gets chills out my mum is by patting her dog. So I patted Lily and I was hoping that all my good energy I was trying to put into Lily, mum would then receive later on that day by patting her dog. Because it's all about touch with me. It's psychometry, I touch things. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world. Or perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. There is a thing online called the Shift Network. A lot of psychic mediums go in there and talk about what they do. I know a lot of readers that are on YouTube refer to the Shift and have the ads placed when they do their readings. And then there's another one called Gaia, The Awakening, and Mind Valley is the other one. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following word, your light activation. Yeah. So it's asking you to rise from the base of the spine, open yourself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. Inner temple. Okay, so that's to do with going somewhere that's sacred. Tune into the portal of your heart. I'm going to read Inner Temple. It's the action card. So that's an action card. The Awakening was an activation card. So your action is to go to an inner temple, which is 70. Okay, so it's telling you, tune into the portal of your heart. You have been called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart. To incorporate true devotion into your life, you can be called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or chanting practice. Meditation, journaling, as I said about writing your dreams, when you have these very strong astral dreams or dreams that you figure out where the hell you are. And it could be months later, like with me, I'll visit a place and go, where the hell am I? And then it will come up for me like it did 3 years ago. My mum lives near a shopping centre. It's just opened, reopened, redeveloped, new shops. It's got BWS, it's got Woolworths, it's got this new Terry White's redone, a doctor's surgery, and it's got the Maryland Tavern that's been redone. Now I had this astral vision of this outside area with these blue umbrellas, like I would say, like you're out sitting like an outdoor area, which I saw about 3 days ago. I went to go to Maryland's to go apply for a job, and there was the tavern that's been redone, renovated. The blue umbrellas were out the front. I thought it was in Merriweather because that's where I thought I was when I astral travelled to this place. I thought it's probably just Merriweather. It looks like the Beaches Hotel. It was Maryland, and that happened 3 years ago, maybe more, maybe even 5 years ago. All of the answers to all of the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart, but you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn, and you are being called to go deeper in your soul growth or to increase your devotion by being a student or a lineage or a spiritual teacher. And people go to me, oh, do you teach? I said, what do you mean teach? I said, no, I do readings online for air signs, water, fire, and earth. Well, my friend said, well, that's teaching. Is it not teaching? What, how to read tarot? So I kind of went, yeah, I never thought of it like that. So a spiritual teacher is what you could be doing. You could also be a fellow reader teaching online, have your own YouTube channel. If you've already been committed student, you are being commended for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time you spend in devotion is priceless. If you are questioning your career path or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus towards devotion in this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul, and may my life be one big moving prayer. That's a really nice thing to say. I think that ties in with the hermit, because to me the hermit represents Saint David, or is it Saint David? Star of David, which is, I think, David, King David. Star of David talks about religious ceremonies. You may be involved with someone who's very religious as well as spiritual. I mean, you can have both. You can be a Catholic and you can be an Anglican and you can still be a Scientologist, as Tom Cruise said. Or you can be, you know, a Buddhist or a, I don't know, Tibetan monk and still believe in spirituality and believe in spiritual things and visions and still be in your faith. Like, you don't have to change. If you're spiritual, then you're spiritual. I don't say I'm religious, I just say I'm spiritual. And that covers a whole host of things. So you may need to go to a place that understands you, that you've got like-minded people, which is a spiritual church. My grandmother was part of the spiritual church in Newcastle up near NBN, and she used to go there because she was not religious as such, but she was married to a man that was very religious. Because of our heritage of the Hardymans, as the deacon of the church at Tabernacle was my grandfather's great-grandfather, I think, I would say great-grandfather, was a deacon of the church. So there was a strong lineage to the church. So she believed, but she also believed in spiritual things. She was a Scorpion, very psychic, very, very psychic lady. And yeah, she was so excited to have a granddaughter, but I never got to see her because my mum was too young and my dad was too young, and they split up, so she didn't really see me. I was supposed to go see her one day, but I got scared because I think most single parents have separation anxiety from their child. And I could see how worried my mum was to let me go and visit my grandmother at 2, that I chickened out and said I don't want to go, and they had to turn around and go back. But yeah, I regret not seeing her, not ever meeting her. She died before I got to know her. She died when I was 10. She was only 54. I aim not to die that young. I've just turned 50, so my goal is to live a good life, to be extremely healthy and be active, active with people. Try to help those with these readings. Like, I don't know, I hope I reach someone out there that might need to learn a little bit about their spirituality, or they might be learning that they are quite psychic and they pick up on things. My son's very psychic, both of them. The one that turned up with a cup of coffee a week ago when I was really sick, just out of the blue, I felt his energy, and then I felt that I had to get up, and I got up and I got the phone call. Oh, out the front. I didn't have a shower, I was just asleep because he came without telling me, and I raced out the door to have his cup of coffee, just wanted to sit and chat, and I was like, because he's been sick too, so we hadn't seen each other for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks with the illness, and it's like he knew I really needed to see him because I was really missing him and he was really missing me, so we sat side by side with a cup of coffee from McDonald's, and we just sat on the bench and chatted because we didn't want to be around each other because we both had COVID symptoms, so he had to go back to work. He'd been sick twice with the same symptoms, like it came back. It's really hard to shake once you get it. There's a special strain, I think they call it RV, my pharmacist told me about. He reckons I had all 3 of those issues, so it wasn't just COVID, it was RV, really bad. Like, he was suggesting antiviral meds for me because I just can't seem to shake it. Once I get it, it's really hard for me to shake. But they say if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you have more chance of having issues if you're over the age of 70. So I've kept away from my grandfather, who's in a nursing home. I've kept away from my mum, because she's 70. So I've been very careful who I've hung around or come in contact with, and just tried to get well. But yeah, it really makes you appreciate being around people. It's so isolating when you're sick. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I know this is a long read, but for some air signs out there, I think they may need a little bit of guidance.